In another story, I'm a woman marking 2 years with my boyfriend, though I count only the last 18 months, as the first 6 were casual. He counts all of it. I cut off contact with my parents at 16 for severe reasons I won't detail, but never speaking to them again feels like they got off easy. To escape, I married my best friend at 16, who knew my situation and wanted to help. Marriage was my only way to avoid being forced back home after failed runaways. We divorced 5 years later, but I kept his last name to distance myself from my parents, and we remain close. He introduced me to my boyfriend. Just before Christmas, my mom messaged me on a new Facebook I'd created, having forgotten to adjust privacy settings. She asked if she and my dad could visit. My boyfriend saw the message, sparking questions since I'd only said I don't speak to my parents. I explained she'd found me, but I wouldn't respond, promising to share my reasons when ready. He accepted this, and I blocked her. Months later, I struggled to open up. On our 2nd anniversary, he proposed with my nan's ring, which my parents had. Shocked, I asked how he got it. He admitted contacting my parents days after I received my mom's message, despite knowing I wanted no contact. He'd used her name from the message, met them, asked their permission to propose, and accepted the ring they said Nan wanted me to have. Devastated, I told him to leave. He's now at his sister's, texting and calling, confused and begging to talk. His sister, my friend, also wants answers. My ex-husband was furious, revealing my boyfriend had asked him about my past 6 months ago. My ex-husband insisted it was my story to tell and said my boyfriend agreed to wait. My ex-husband didn't tell me then, as I'd just invited my boyfriend to move in, and he didn't want to ruin my joy. He apologized, promising not to withhold again. When my boyfriend came over, my ex-husband was there for support as I shared my past. As I explained what my parents did, my boyfriend interrupted, saying, "They said you'd make this up." My ex-husband warned him, but my boyfriend claimed he'd speak as he wanted, believing my parents' lies that I was unstable, refused mental health help, broke the law, and ran away to avoid punishment. Shocked he believed them, I watched as my ex-husband gave him 30 minutes to pack and leave, threatening to cut it to 0 if he spoke. My ex-boyfriend left silently. He knew I hadn't spoken to my parents in a decade, married at 16 to escape, took my ex-husband's name to hide, and still have nightmares, yet contacted them days after I said I'd share when ready. He trusted his gut about them over my 16 years of experience, shared my name, job field, workplace, and possibly my address, and stayed in touch. If he tells them we're done, they might find me, knowing I'm alone. My ex-husband offered to stay temporarily. I'm considering a restraining order and may need to move. I'm torn over what's worse. Him contacting people I've avoided for years or believing their lies over me. The woman he claimed to love enough to marry. My life feels upended, my safety compromised, and my trust shattered by his betrayal. A 15-year-old girl named Emily was alone at home one evening when she heard a knock on the front door. Her parents weren't due back until the following Monday, and she wasn't expecting any visitors. She approached the door and asked who was there. An unfamiliar male voice replied, "Emily, there's been an incident. Your dad's in the hospital." Initially, Emily reached for the doorknob but paused and asked, "Who are you?" The voice answered, "I'm a friend of your dad's." Emily, still wary, asked for her father's name, and the man provided the correct answer. Remaining cautious, Emily decided to call her father while the man continued to knock persistently. When her father answered, sounding perfectly fine, she realized the truth. Her father was safe, and there had been no accident. The knocking ceased, and Emily's father contacted the police, but the stranger had already vanished. Whoever he was, he knew details about the family, from their names to the fact that Emily was home alone. The family never discovered the identity of the mysterious man.